personally feel like Netflix ended its DVD service quite a long time ago. I'm not exactly sure when this was written, but I remember when it was a thing. There's a lot of things that were like mail-in DVD services, and it was pretty cool. I remember like GameFly, and I think it was GameFly, where you would like get games on like physical discs and stuff, as well as boxes that you could get films on, and then obviously Netflix's DVD service. So I'm not 100% sure exactly when Netflix stopped doing this, but I know that a lot of these services have been going to the wayside because people just don't want to do with it with the new age streaming that's being provided. Why are companies moving away from the like physical media model is a big question that you might have when you hear that all of these companies have stopped doing this. And one thing is that it's way more accessible to way more people if you have movies online. You don't have like a physical overhead that you have to provide for like the shipping costs and like that, which is why companies are choosing and moving towards these less expensive forms. Companies are always trying to find ways to cut costs and make it as profitable as possible with as little physical cost as possible. And other companies famously have done this, like Amazon. They stopped mailing out books in the same way that they originally did when they first started as like a company. I personally watch a lot of my films on streaming services like Netflix or Disney Plus. I wish that I didn't. I don't love the way that they're deciding to go with their programs and stuff, but I also feel like it's impossible. Because I feel so conflicted about that, I often find myself going to pirating websites like 123 Movies, I think, and like ABC Movies. I'm not sure. I'm not promoting it for anyone else, but I think that, you know, if you want to watch specific content and you don't want to have to pay for it, then this is your best option. I mean, a lot of the time, I mean, some of these websites are getting pretty professional. Of course, you always get the like the really insane ads, but like that's the price that you have to be willing to face if you want to get free access to these films. I also, because cable's like going to the wayside, I also find myself mostly watching a lot of YouTube. I know that YouTube's not typically like a story. Like, you're not watching a story most of the time. It's more like you're just consuming other like non-fictional content. But just because of the way that the entertainment industry has been going, that's what I personally have found myself doing. I feel like the future of streaming is going to be that all of these companies are going to combine basically back into like one streaming service, one mega streaming service, or at least like maybe two, because I don't think Netflix and Disney will ever purchase each other. But especially now with the recent Warner Brother, or at least the attempted, I'm not 100% sure where it's ended up so far, acquire, or Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers deal, I think that you're going to see that a lot of these companies are going to purchase each other, and it's going to kind of funnel down into like one or two main services that you can buy, and it's probably going to get more expensive because if there's nowhere else to go, why would they not raise their prices? I mean, which is the chronic issue with monopolies and why monopolies are supposed to be like busted up by the US government, but we're seeing that a lot of these companies are able to make deals with the government even in past even with past even during past presidencies. It's not a specific issue with our current president. I mean, he is doing a lot more deals, I would like to clarify, but all presidents are doing so much. All presidents have always been able to be convinced to allow things that probably shouldn't slide to slide. I mean, you've seen, like, Disney bought Hulu, I think, or Disney may have always owned Hulu, but, like, now their streaming services have, like, basically combined, but you can still buy or pay for them separately for some reason. I'm not sure if any of the other big ones have combined, but I do think there's a little bit of an inevitability because these companies want to limit the competition that's in the sphere with them. And my conclusion is monopolies are bad, and corporations just want to get as much money out of the consumer as possible.